So you live in a condo or a townhouse, you've been working hard, you've done well for yourself, and now you're thinking about selling your home and moving into something bigger. Here's the thing I've learned from years of watching the Oakville market. There's no single right way to get your house ready. You might be somebody who's handy with a roller and enjoys a weekend project. Or you might be someone who's juggling a career, kids, and a life that's already full enough without adding painting and decluttering to the list. Neither is better, neither is worse. They're just different. Some sellers want to roll up their sleeves and handle things themselves, where other sellers want to hand over the credit card and have professionals take care of everything and not lose even a minute of their weekend. The goal today isn't to tell you which one to be. The goal is to give you the options, the DIY route or hire the professional route. So you can pick the path that actually fits your life. I'm Sean Jaffrey, and today we're talking about getting your home ready for sale. We'll cover paint, clutter, lighting, curb appeal, and the front door. And for each one, I'll lay out what it looks like to do it yourself and what it looks like to hire someone and what the real trade offs really are. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the paint. Nothing updates a house faster. You've got walls, maybe they're dirty, maybe they're that color you loved in 2016, but now you're not so sure about it. Maybe your teenager went through a dark gray, moody phase. If you're someone who's handy with a roller and you've got a free Saturday, this is a great DIY project. Grab some paint, hit the high traffic areas, the hallway, the living room. You don't need to paint everything, just the spots that scream someone lives here. A couple of $100 at the hardware store, a weekend of work, and you've got fresh walls. And you get that satisfying feeling of standing back and saying, I did that. But maybe your ceilings are 2 stories high. Maybe you just have that tricky staircase wall, or maybe you're just busy. You've got work, you've got family, your weekends are already spoken for. And honestly, painting can be boring. If that sounds like you, hiring a professional painter is a totally reasonable choice. In Oakville, a whole house paint job will run you somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000. But here's what you're buying: your weekend back. Your back is saved, and you get a flawless finish that comes from years of practice. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is recognizing that your time is worth more than the cost of the job. So here's the call: small touch up job and you enjoy the stuff, do it yourself and feel like a hero. Whole house or complicated ceilings and you'd rather protect your time, write the check. Both get you to the same place: fresh walls that help sell your house. Okay, next up, decluttering. This is the one that may feel personal. You have nice things. I know you do. You have got those sculptures from your trip to Europe, the fancy espresso machine that takes up half the counter, family photos, and nice expensive frames. Here's the truth: buyers don't fall in love with your things, they fall in love with the space. So if you've got the time and the energy, pack it up. Rent a small storage unit for a month, maybe about $150. Move half your furniture out. Yes, half. Make every room look bigger. Make those closets look empty and spacious. This is totally doable over a couple weekends. Just use some boxes and a little bit of discomfort letting go temporarily. But maybe you don't have those weekends. Maybe your weekends are just for your kids' hockey games or catching up on work, or honestly just resting because you may be exhausted. There are professional organizers in Oakville who specialize in pre sale decluttering. They come to your house, make all the decisions for you, and have it done in 2 days. It costs money, no question. But what you get back is your time. You leave the house in the morning, come back to a space that looks like a magazine, and you didn't have to pack a single box. For a lot of busy professionals, that's money well spent. The verdict: decluttering is something anyone can do themselves if they have the bandwidth. But if your bandwidth is already maxed out with work and family, hiring out isn't lazy. It's smart. It's knowing your limits and respecting your time. All right, let's talk about lighting, and I need to clear something up right now. For years, everyone told you to buy those bright white daylight bulbs, the 5000K ones, the ones that make your kitchen look like an operating room. Here's the truth: incandescent lighting is better. It's warmer, softer, more flattering. Incandescent bulbs give off a warm yellowish glow. It's what we grew up with. It's what candlelight looks like. It makes the skin look better. It makes rooms feel cozier. Fluorescent or LED daylight bulbs, they're blue, they're cold. They make your beautiful Oakville home feel like a dentist's office. And nobody writes an offer in a dentist's office. If you want to handle this yourself, it's simple. Go to the store, look for those incandescent bulbs or bulbs labeled soft white or warm white. They're on the cheaper side and they're everywhere. Swap out every bulb in your house, especially in bedrooms and living rooms. You want people to walk in and immediately feel like curling up on the couch with a warm cup of chamomile. That's the vibe. 20 minutes and maybe $50 and you're done. But maybe you want to take it further. Maybe you want dimmers on everything. Maybe you want sconces. Maybe you want that soft layered look where the light bounces off the walls instead of blasting you in the face. This is where you call in the pros, an electrician, or even better, a lighting designer. They'll come in, look at your space, and create a lighting plan that feels warm, intentional, and high end. Yes, it costs more. But if you're someone who values design and doesn't want to spend your evenings crawling around the attic running wires, this may be the move. You pay for expertise, you get a result that looks like it belongs in a catalog. Okay. The verdict is bulbs are a 5-minute swap. Anyone can do that today. But if you want the full mood lighting experience and you'd rather not DIY it, spend the money on the fixtures, dimmers, and a pro. Either way, remember this: warm lights sell houses, cold lights sell flu shots. All right, let's step outside. Before anyone even walks through your front door, they're forming an opinion from the street. This is curb appeal, and it matters more than most people think. If you enjoy being outside, you've got a free Saturday, this is one of the most satisfying DIY projects you can do. Mow the lawn, trim the bushes, edge the walkway, maybe throw down some fresh mulch in the garden beds. That alone makes a huge difference. And the cost, the bag of mulch is maybe, I don't know, like $5. A few hours of your time, and you get to stand back at the end of the day and see your house look noticeably better than it did when you woke up. There is a real sense of pride in that. But maybe your Saturdays are booked. Maybe you've got kids' sports or work deadlines, or honestly, you just don't want to spend your one day off pulling weeds. That's totally fair. Hire a landscaper for a 1-day cleanup. In Oakville, you're probably looking at around $700 depending on the size of your property. They come in, they do everything: mowing, trimming, mulching, blowing. And when they leave, your house looks polished and it looks cared for. You never touched a rake, you never got a blister, and you got to spend your Saturday doing literally anything else. So, if you enjoy yard work and you've got the time, DIY it and feel proud of what you accomplished. If you'd rather keep your weekends and let the pros handle it, then spend the money. Either way, a well kept exterior tells buyers that this house has been taken care of. And that's a message worth sending before they even knock on the door. All right, last one. And honestly, this might be the most important thing on the entire list: the front door. This is the handshake your house makes before anyone even steps inside. It's the first thing buyers touch. It's the moment they go from looking at a house to feeling like they might belong there. If your door is in rough shape, it's scratched, faded, peeling paint, hardware that looks like it belongs in a different century, you're sending a message before anyone even walks in. The good news: this is an easy fix. Again, if you're handy and you've got a weekend, this is a fantastic DIY project. Sand the door down. Fill any dings or scratches with wood filler. Grab a decent exterior paint or stain, maybe $40 to $50 for a quality can and a brush. Take your time, do it right. Cost you maybe about $60 to $70 total in a Saturday afternoon. And here's the thing: every time you come home after that, you'll feel a little jolt of pride. You did that. It looks great, and buyers walking up, they'll think, okay, someone's taking care of things here. But maybe you don't want to spend your weekend sanding. Maybe you've got other things to do. Or maybe the door is beyond a simple refresh. Maybe it's warped or the wrong size or just dated in a way paint won't fix. Here's the alternative: Buy a new door. A solid, nice looking front door at a hardware store or door supply place will run you about maybe $800 to $1,200, depending on how fancy you want to get. Then hire a handyman or a carpenter to install it. Another $200 to $300 all in. You're looking at roughly about $1,500 or a little bit more. Is that more than a can of paint? Yeah, but what you're buying is simplicity. You don't lift a finger, you don't spend the weekend sanding, and you get a door that looks absolutely flawless. No brush strokes, no drips, just clean, solid, beautiful. So, if you're handy and you enjoy a weekend project, sand and paint, it's cheap, it's satisfying, and it makes a real difference. If you rather protect your time and have it done perfectly, buy the new door and hire the pro. Either way, fix the door. It's the handshake that your house makes. Make it a good one. So here's the bottom line, dear friends. There's no right or wrong way to get your house ready to sell. There's just the way that fits your life. Maybe you're someone who enjoys a weekend project and wants to handle things yourself. Great. You'll save some money and get that sense of accomplishment. Maybe you're someone whose time is already spoken for by work, family, by just needing a break. That's also great. Hiring professionals isn't a sign that you couldn't do it. It's a sign that you know what your time is worth. The only wrong move is doing nothing and hoping for the best. The market rewards houses that look ready. Ready doesn't mean perfect, it means intentional. Now, here's what I want to know. What's the one thing in your house right now that you've been ignoring? The front door that could use some love, the overgrown bushes, the light fixture that's been broken for 6 months. Drop it in the comments. Tell me what you're ignoring and why. And tell me, are you going to handle it yourself this weekend, or are you going to hire someone so you can focus on anything other than that project? I'm genuinely curious. I'm Sean Jaffrey. If you want more Oakville real estate talk without the boring stuff, hit subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.